Hey, 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 hey. So I've decided to start making my own little podcast kind of video, and we'll see how it works. I'm just hanging out on a day off. It's technically my Sunday, but it's Friday today. So I get to hang out at home and relax. This isn't going to be a really long video, maybe about 10-15 minutes. If people like these kinds of things, then, if I get lots of likes or something, then maybe I'll decide to do a little bit longer, but who knows. So today I've been kind of just hanging out, reading the news, watching news, been on Instagram a little bit. I had a really interesting conversation last night with someone on Instagram, actually, and this is something that a lot of people probably don't know about me, that just know me from work or from school or something like that. I know a lot of people online, and I've been using online websites to meet people since like grade 9, grade 8. And it's kind of funny now that the internet is so advanced, it's it's actually pretty fucking crazy if you think about it, how someone like me who's about to turn 28, when I was in junior high, cell phones weren't even a thing, and the internet was kind of boring and slow. It took a long ass time to connect to the internet. It was like a loud, stupid fucking thing that you had to like listen to for like half an hour or whatever. Yeah, it was only like 3 or 4 minutes, but I had a limit to the time that I could be on the internet at home. I remember my mom would like get mad if we were on the internet for longer than a half an hour or something, because it would take up your phone line. So like if you had the internet back then, I'm guessing like when it first came out in the 90s and early 2000s, I guess is basically most I remember. But in the early 90s and 2000s, it was annoying to get onto the internet because you had to get a completely different phone line. So anyway, my sister actually probably, I don't want to say she got me into meeting people online, but I remember when I was in grade 6, I lived in this little town called Gibbons, Alberta, and it was just outside of Edmonton where I live now, but it's about 15-20 minute drive out of the city. And when we lived there, when I was in grade 6, so this must have been, I don't know, 2000, 2001, 2002, that kind of thing. Maybe even a little bit earlier. Anyway, but she was 6 years older than me. So she was, in grade 11, grade 12. And she was chatting with people online, in chat sites. I think it was either MSN chat or like Yahoo chat. And I just have these memories of her chatting with guys and stuff like that were, not in Canada. And she didn't even know who these people were. They were just complete strangers. And I got a little fascinated by that. And my dad lived in Ontario, and I used to go and see him in the summers because my parents kind of split up when I was in grade 2 or grade 3. And I would go and see my dad. And when I was with my dad, by the time I was, in grade 6, grade 7, when they had dial up internet, like, had a computer that I could go on when I got to that age, I remember I would log on to chat sites, and I don't know what it was, but I mean, the earliest memory that I have is my older sister on chat sites. And also, I had a stepbrother in Quebec, and he was on those chat sites too that I remember. And I mean, I was just a nerd. I was playing like Harry Potter, freaking video games, and but I got into chat rooms a lot, and I would go into Yahoo Chat, and I would talk to people in like Hong Kong and Australia and Britain and all these places that I really wanted to be. And I don't know what exactly it was, right? But I just wanted to talk to those people and see what it was like. And I mean, this is me in grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. And by the time high school came around, and MySpace and Facebook and Nexopia and like all those, like, I guess early versions of Facebook before Facebook came out. I mean, I was using those because my parents also were in the military, so we moved around every year and a half. I was in a different town, so by the time I was in high school, I used the internet to find friends, and I knew I was moving to Edmonton, and I that's actually how I met one of my best friends, who probably will listen to this, Quintina. I met her by going on Nexopia and looking up people in Edmonton the summer before I moved to Edmonton, before grade 11. And like I'm just capable of utilizing social. I was very early on. I was very capable of utilizing that utility of connectivity. Because I mean, it's easy. And now with like POF and Grinder, you don't have to use it for sex. You don't have to use it to hook up. If you're lonely, if you don't have a friend, find one online. I use Instagram now, and I mean, there was this one website called Daily Booth that was kind of like Instagram, but it was before Instagram, before cell phones were touch screen, right before apps. There's this website called Daily Booth, and you would upload a picture. Most people would just upload a picture of a selfie of themselves. But a lot of other people would just upload, like, if you follow me on Instagram, like I just upload pictures of like random street photography things, right? I don't do selfies that often. But it was mostly just a selfie website from what I remember. And you would put a little like a little comment at the bottom, a caption of the picture, and you would tag people and be like, "Hey, check out my photo," or "I hung out with this person today," or like, "Go see these people's photos." And it was like a community thing, just like Instagram, but it was a website. And it's kind of insane how it's just a copy of like our apps now. Like, they were all there in the internet, when we were just all on our computers on MSN, and there wasn't a phone. Before, our computers were in our pockets, and we had those little mini computers with like keypads and stuff, and that was just, whatever. But it's pretty weird. But yeah, I like talking to people online. So I was talking to man, that was a long introduction to. I'm pretty sure what I was talking about before this. I'm kind of stoned right now. The thing before, I was this guy I was talking to on Instagram, and he lives in New York City, and I started talking to him a lot last night, and I think I actually pissed him off because I asked him kind of a personal question. But I'm just putting out this cigarette. Sorry. Hold on a minute. I asked him if he. I just asked him a lot of questions about like the rent and stuff like that.